Namaste. I'm gonna do 2 sessions in a row. So I didn't do this yesterday. Let me reset my camera. Okay, better. Mic check. Book 2, Sutra 31. 32. Namaste. Shaucha samtosho sappa. Shaucha samtosho tap. Shaucha samtosho tappa husavantya yeshvara pranuitanani niyamaha. Yeshvara pran. I want to say it again. Shaucha samtosho sat. Shaucha samtosho tappa husavantya yeshvara pranuitanani niyamaha. Namaste. Tatra shaucham burojajaladi janitam metya pyabaharanodi jan bahyam apyanantaram Chitamalanam Santosha Samnihita Santana Datikasyan Upatitasam Tapo Devam Sahanama Devam Shecham. Number 3. Devam Sahanama Devam Shecham. Number 3 has 3 different, Devam Jam Devam Shecham Devam Devani Jam. Okay. Chikatas ha pipase. Okay. Shitoshunue Satanasane Gashitamauna Garamaune Jam Pratani Jaushwam. Number 1. Jaivan. Jaivan. But what does that lead to? Jaiva. That's it. Huh. Yatha yogam kurata chranjanandra yanasam tapanadini Savatyayo Mokushasha Satrano Matyayanam Pranavajapo Vam Ishvara Pranuitanam Tasamina Paramagurao Salvakalma Padnama Salvakalma Panama Shaya sanasutotam Shaya sanasutotam Bati Brajanamban Sivasataha Parikushwina Vitaktalka Jalaha Parikushwina Vitakajalaha Samsara Bijakushayami Kushamanoha Siana Nitya Yokotomurata Pogapagi. Number 2. Diamukuto. Diamuk. Siana Nitya Mukutomurata Pogapagi. Tatrada Mukutam Tataha Pratyakachatana Thigamot Pianataraya Pabashechati. Pratyakachatana Thigamopianataraya Pabashechati. Pratyakachatana Thigamopianataraya Pabashechati. Namaste. Namaste. Cleanliness and contentment, and self-castigation and study, and devotion to the Ishvara are the observances. Of these, cleanliness is produced by earth or by water, or the like, and by the consumption and others with regard to pure sacrificial food. This is outer. Inner is the washing away of the blemishes of the mind stuff. Contentment means not to covet more than the means at hand. Self-castigation is the bearing of extremes, hunger and thirst, cold and heat, standing and sitting, stock stillness and formal stillness, and, according to usage, courses of conduct such as mortifications and lunar fasts and rigid penances. Study is the recital of books that treat of release, or the repetition of the syllable of adoration. Devotion to the Ishvara is the offering up of all actions to the Supreme Teacher. He who rests in himself, for whom the network of perverse considerations has been destroyed, whether resting upon a bed, or on a seat, or wandering upon a road, would behold the destruction of the seat of the Rana rebirths, would be permanently released, would participate in deathless delights. With regard to which this has been said. Thereafter comes the right knowledge of him who thinks in an inverse way, and the removal of obstacles. Okay, Veda next. Okay. Namaste. Here we go. 타나바는 땀, 까람은 피러마뿌, 빠바는 땀 무끄tit 남. 까람은 피너마뿌, 빠바는 땀 무끄tit 남. 타나바는 땀, 까람은 피너마뿌, 빠바는 땀 무끄tit 남. 이는들아, 브라 딸 주셔서바 나허. 보로로샴, 바짜띠암, 주셔서바는 드랑, 구라서방짱, 두피암, 하비아니, 시스라떼, 보로로샴짱, 노, 카소, 조셔야세, 기라시짱, 나허, 바투 유리바, 요셔노무, 보로로샴, 사나슈루따, 프라타흐사베, 주셔서바 나허. 이는들아 그라툴히 때 브로하느 마티암디나시아 사바나시아 타나흐 브로러 샤미는들아 그르시베하 짜루무 브라 야뜨스 또땅 짜리땅 둘누열토 브로쇼야마너 우빵 길피리 뜨두에 뜨르띠에 타나흐 사바네 부르셔뚜땀 부로러 샤마후땀 마마하스바 나흐 러푸마는 땀 바자바는 땀 뜨방 가베 바라야스바는 땀 우빵 시쿠스웨마 티티피흐 부셔는 바떼 때 짜끄르마 까람은 밤 하리바떼 하리야시바야 타나흐 아포 바마드티 사가노 마루드 피흐 소만 비바 브르트라하 슈라 비드바네 프라티 타나 파라타 두야마스마이 부롤르샴 비라타마야 느르노무 디베 사드르시리는드라 두피암 발타는 두 뜨방에 소마빼야야 트러시노 나마스테 이는드라 except at break of day our soma mixed with roasted corn with groats with cake with eulogies except or inandra and enjoy the well-dressed sacrificial cake. Oblations I poured forth to thee. Consume our sacrificial cake. Accept the songs of praise we sing, as he who woos accepts his bride. Famed from of old, accept the cake at our libation, poured at dawn. For great, O Inandra, is thy power. Let roasted corn of our midday libation and sacrificial cake here please thee, Inandra. What time the lauding singer, keen of purpose and eager as a bull, with hymns implores thee. At the third sacrifice, O thou whom many praise, give glory to the roasted corn and holy cake. With offered viands and with songs may we assist thee, sage, whom Bāja and Rapus wait upon. The groats have we prepared for thee with Bhushan, corn for thee, Lord of base deeds, with thy horses. Eat thou the meal cake, banded with the Maruts. Wise hero, Putra slayer, drink the soma. Bring forth the roasted corn to meet him quickly, cake for the bravest hero with the heroes. Indra made hymns accordant with thee, daily strengthen thee, bold one, for the draft of Soma. Upanishad next. Namaste. Iti tu pancamyama hutang avapah purusha vachaso pavananti iti sa urulban boroto galpo dasha ban nava ban ma sa nanantah shayit ban yavad ban ta jayat sa jato yavada yusham jivati tam pratam Dishita gunaya eva harananti yata eveto yatah samputo pavati. Dishita gunaya eva harananti yata evato yatah samputo pavati. Namaste. Iti navamah karundoh. Thus, indeed, in the fifth oblation, water comes to have a human voice. After he has lain within for 10 months, or for however long it is, as a fetus covered with membrane, then he is born. When born, he lives for as long as his length of life. When deceased, they carry him hence to the appointed place, for the fire from whence indeed he came, from whence he arose. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam next, thank you. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam, Book 4, Chapter 12. 52 shlokas, or 51, very long. I am not prepared for this. Let me take some medicine, take 1 minute break. Okay, here we go. Namaste. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Devadashotyaya. Namaste. Maitreya Uvacha Turuvam Nivaratatam Pratibuddhya Vaishasapade Vaishasada Petamanium Bhagavan Taneshivarahu Tatra Gatashecharano Yakushokin Naraiha Tatra Gatashecharano Yakushokin Naraiha Samsutu Yamano Pia Badatu Kurotanjalima Tanada Uvanchan Poho Kushatriyadayada Paritoshitosumi Danaka Yatetevam Pitamaha Deshadvairam Dusutya Jamatya Jah Na Pavanavati Diakushon Na Yakusho Prataram Tava Kala Eva Hi Putanam Purapyaya Pavayoh Aham Devamitya Paita Tirajnyanat Purushasya Hi Sevapaniva Tadu Thyana Dhyaya Sevapaniva Tadu Thyana Dhyaya Vanantavi Pariyaya Tadu Gachecham Turuba Padram Te Bhagavanantama Tokushojam Salva Putatma Pavena Salva Putatma Vigraham Salva Putatma Vigraham Pajasavan Pajaniyangan Krima Pavaya Pavachidam Yukutam Virahitam Shagatiyan Gunamayat Mamayayan Purunuihi Kamam Nirupa Yanamanogatam Matatasatavamautana Pade Vishangankitah Matatasatavamautana Mapeshbi Matatasatavamautana Mamavamaut Matatasatavamautanapa Matatasatavamautana Padevi Shangankitah Matatasatavamautana Padevi Shangankitah Matatasatavamautana Padevi Shangankitah Parai Homam Bujana Barai Homam Bujana Papada Yoranantaram Barai Homam Bujana Papada Yoranantaram Devam Payamanganga Shushuruma Maitreya Uvanchan Sa Rajarajana Paraya Chodito Turubo Mahabhagavato Mahamatiha Harau Sa Pavarechalitam Samuratim Yayam Taratyayatanam Turatyayam Tamaha Tasya Puritana Manasam Tam Tatavaida Vidos Tataha Pashyatonan Dal 빠시아 또는 빠시아 또는 딸다테 소피 스바뿌람 브라티아 빠디아땀 아타 야자타 야진예샴 그라투 필푸리다 그슈 슈이너이허 그라투 빌푸리다 그슈이 그라투 필푸리다 그슈이너이허 드라비아 그리야 데바타남 깔마 팔라프라다무 살방 데마니아 지우테 살베 디브라우캄 파크티 무드바하느 다달샤 데마니 푸테슈 다메바 바스티 땀 비푸무 다메밤 시라 사문빠는 남 브라흐마누얌 디나바트 살라무 고부땅람 탈마세뚜남 메니레 피타람 프라자흐 셔트뜨림 샤드 벌쇼 사하스람 셔트뜨림 셔트뜨림 샤드 벌쇼 사하스람 샤샤사 구슈이티 마는돌라무 포가이흐 보누여꾸셔얌 굴바는 나 포가이라 슈파꾸셔얌 에밤 바후사밤 갈람 마하트마 비잘레는 마하트마 비잘레는 드리야흐 드리발가오빠이감 니트방 부트라야다는 느르파사나무 마니야마남 이담 비시밤 마야라치타마트마니 아비디야라치타스트 스바프나가는 탈바나가로빠마무 아비디야라치타스트 다스바 아비디야라치타스바프나가는 탈바나가로빠마무 아비디야라치타스바프나가는 탈바나가로빠마무 아비디야라치타스바프나간 탈부시 아비디야라치타스바프나가는 탈바나가로빠마무 아비디야라치타스바프나가는 탈바나가로빠마무 아비디야라치타스바프나가는 탈바가로빠마무 아트마스트리야 파티야 수흐르도 발라무르드 타코샤마는 따흐 발라무르드 타코샤마는 따흐 부람 파리비하라 푸바시자 라미아흐 푸마는달람 잘라티메칼라마 깔라이얌 깔로파스르셔타미티 사프라야야오 비샬람 다시암 비슈드 타카라노흐 시바발 비가 히야바드 트방 사남 시바발 비가 시바발 비가 히야바드 트방 사남 지타마루는 마나사 흐르타 쿠셔흐 스툴레 다타라 파가바트 프라티루파 에타드티아 삼스타 다비아 바하 바히토 에타드티아 삼스타 다비아 바 에타드티아 얌스타 다비아 바히토 비아스르 자트 사마타오 파그팀 하라오 파가바티 브라바하는 나자스라마 나는다바 슈바칼라양 무후랄디아마나흐 비클리디아마나흐르다야흐 불라카 치땅은고 na tema namasamarada sabiti mukutalingangahe sang tadanshan bimanagriam napasobatarad turubahe napasobatarad turubahe 비프라자야드 다샤티쇼 라가 파티미보디땀 따뜨라누 데바프라바라오 짜뜰푸자오 샤마오 기쇼라 바루나먼 부자크셔러 셔노 기쇼라 바루나먼 부자크셔러 셔노 기쇼라 바루나먼 부자크셔노 스티타 바바 셔투피앙 Sthita Baba Shirtupya Kadam Subha Sasao Kirita Harangangata Charu Kunundalao Kirita Harangangata Charu Kunundalao Vijinyayam Tabaratadama Tabaratadamaga Yakinkara Bipyutatitaha Vijinyayam ta buddhatama ga yakingankara bipyutatitaha ta buddhatama ga yakingankara bipyutatitaha sattvasabi smuratakramaha sattvasabi smuratakramaha namani karunvana matudabhishaha Parshat Prathana Viti Samhatanjaliha Tam Krishna Pada Pini Vishita Chatasam Tam Krishna Pada Pini Vishita Chatasam Padatanjalim Parashrayana Murakanantarama Parashrayana Murakanantarama Sunananda Nananda Vupasarotya Sunananda Nananda Vupasarotya Sasamitam Pratyu Chatuha Pushikarana Pasamamatao Pushikarana Pasamamatao Sunananda Nananda Vupajatuha Sunananda Nananda Vupajatuha Po Rajana Subhadram te Vacham Novahitaha Sharunua Yaha Panchavashasatapasam Pavana Devamati Tirapata Tasya Kila Jagad Taturabam Devasya Shangangi Shai Anginaha Paishada Biha Samaprapatau Netum Tevam Bhagavata Padama Suduljayam Vishnu Padam Jitam Tevayam Yatasurayo Prapya Vichakashate Parama Atishutva Tachachanandra Divakara Dayo Atishutva Tachachanandra Divakara Dayo Grahal Shakutaraha Grahakushataraha Pariyananti Dakushvinama Anasatitam te Petra Piraniaira Pianganga Petra Piraniaira Anasatitam te Petra Piraniaira Pianganga Kahichet Atishutha Jagatam Panandiam Tad Vishnuha Paramam Padama Etad Vimana Parabara Mudtamashloka Maulinaam Etad Vimana Paravara Mudtamashloka Maulinaam Upasatha Pitama Yushimanana Tirotum Devamahasi Maitreya Uvacham Dishamyam Baikunanta Niyojya Mutkya Yolma Tu Jiutam Baikunanta Niyojya Mukhya 바이꾸는 니샤미야 바이꾸는 터니오지야 무키야 열마 투지우담 바이꾸는 터이오 바이꾸는 터니오지야 무키야 열마 투지우담 니샤미야 바이꾸는 터니오지야 무키야 열마 투지우담 바이꾸는 터니오지 바이꾸는 터니오지야 무키야 열마 투지우담 니샤미야 바이꾸는 터니오지야 무키야 열마 투지우담 바이꾸는 터니오지야 무키야 열마 투지우담. Man, need more medicine. Get interrupted. I don't always want to say, I got interrupted when I'm doing poorly, but it's that way. Okay, here we go. 니샤미야 바이꾸는 터니오지야 무키야 열마 투지우담 바이꾸는 터니오지야 무키야 열마 투지우담 바자무르그라마 뿌리야흐 그르다 피슈에카흐 그르다 니티야 망은갈로 무니는 브라너미야 시셔마 피아바다야트 바리디야 피알지야 티슈누여 그리암 바샤다바 피바는디야 바샤다바 피바는디야 짱 이에셔 다다 티슈투tum 비프라두밤 히라는 마야무 다도트타 나빠다흐 뿌뚜로 다달샤는 따까마 가따무 무르띠올 물트니 빠담 따뜻뜨방 아르로하드 푸땀 그르하무 따당 두는 투바요 두는두 파요 내들 무르당은가 빠노바다야흐 가는 탈바무키야흐 브라자구흐 빼뚜흐 구수마버르 셔떠야흐 상잠 스발로카마로쿠슈여느 수니팀 자나님 투르바흐 아는바스마라다감 히트반 디남 야시에 드레베시터파무 이티 비아바시탐 타시야 비아바사야 수로트타마오 달샤야마 사툴데빔 달샤야마 사툴데빔 뿌로 야네나 까츠차팀 따뜨라 브라샴사드 피허 파티 바이마니까이허 수라이허 아바키리야마노 다드르셰 구수마이흐 그라마쇼 그라하느 트릴로킴 데바야네나 소티브란지야 무니나피 파르스탄디아드 투르바가틸 비슈노흐 파라스탄디아드 투르바가틸 비슈노흐 바다마타피아가트 다드 프라자마남 스바루차이바 살바토 로카 스트라요 히아누비 프라자는 따 에테 야는나 브라자는 자는 투슈 예나누그라하 브라자는 띠 파드라누이 짜라는 띠 예니샤무 샤는 따흐 사마드르샤흐 슈드타흐 살바푸다 누란자나 자나흐 살바푸다 누란자나흐 야는 띠안 야는 띠안자사 야는 띠안자사 야는 띠안자사 지우따 빠다마 지우따 뿌리야 바는 타바흐 이티유트따나 빠다흐 보트로 트루바흐 그르셔너 빠라야너흐 아푸뜨뜨라야놈 로까남 주드마누이리바말라흐 까문 피라베고님미섬 지오티შვ 자크라마히땀 야스미는 프라마티 가우라비아 메투여 미바 가밤 가노흐 마히마남 빌로키아시아 나라도 파가바느 러슈이흐 아토디암 비투단실로카느 사트레가 야트 파라차타삼 나라다 우방참 누남 수니테흐 파티데바타야 스타파흐 프라파바시야 파티데바타야 스타파흐 프라파바시야 수타시야 땀 까티므 드르셔트바 피우파 야나피 베다바디노 나이바 티가는툼 프라파바는티 김 느르파흐 야흐 반짜발쇼 구루다라바 샤라일 피는 네나이 구루다라바 샤라일 구루다라바 샤라일 피는 네남 야또 흐르다야나 두야땀 바남 마다 데샤카로지땀 프라품 지가야 따드 파크타구노이허 빠라지땀 야흐 꾸셔드라마는 툴푸비 다시야 티루 더마는 바 루루꾸셔다피 다시야 티루 더마는 바 루루꾸셔다피 발셔부가이허 셔트 반짜발쇼 야다 호필라를 바이허 프라사디야 바이꾸는 터마바빠 따뜻바다무 마이트레야 우방짬 에따뜻에 피히땀 살밤 야트 버러셔또 마히마 야트 버러셔또 하미하 드바양 투르바시오드다 마야 샤사스 짜리땀 투르바시오드다 마야 샤사 투르바시오드다. Yeah, whenever I get interrupted, one day I don't even have to say, and you guys will understand that's what's happening. It makes me mad. Even if it's my best friend, I will get mad at him. Even if it's a stranger, he might, his nerves might get severed. Sanskrit has the power of severing bad nerves, and if your nerves are just full of bad nerves, and you might die. Namaste. 투르바시오드다 마야 샤사시 짜리땀 투르바시오드다 마야 샤사시 짜리땀 투르바시오드다 마야 샤사 투르바시오드다 마야 샤사샤시 찌땀 투르바시오드다 마야 샤사시 짜리땀 사시 짜리땀 투르바시오드다 마야 샤사시 짜리땀 샤사시 짜리땀 투르바시오드다 마야 샤사시 짜리땀 사문마땀 사땀 타니암 야샤시야마 유슈염 뿌누염 스바스티아야남 마하트 스발기암 트라오비암 사마나시암 브라샤시야마 카말셔놈 슈르트 바이타츠 추라드 타야 피쿠슈노 마치우타 프리야 제슈투이타마 슈르트 바이타츠 추라드 슈르트 Shrutavaitacha Chradhataya Pikushana Machiuta Puriya Jeshituitama Shrutavaitacha Chrud Shrutavaitacha Chadata Shrutavaitacha Chad Shrutavaitacha Chradhataya Pikushana Machiuta Puriya Jeshituitama Paveda Pakatil Pagavati Yayang Siat Glesha Sangan Kushoyahu Siat Glesha Sangan Kushoyahu Mahatatavam Micha Chatam Til Tam Shrotuha Shila Dayo Kunoha Tataram Tejasata Dichunam Mano Yatra Manasabinam Dichuna Prayatah Kiltayat Pratah Samabaya Divijanamanam Sayam Cha Punuyoshalokasya Truvasya Charitam Mahat Parnamasyam Silibaliam Devadasyam Shravanuvatavam Dinakushoye Biati Pate Sangankara Melkadi Napi Van Shravaya Chradadatanam Diltapada Pada Shrayah Nacha Chamsataratmanatmanam Sanantushurta Iti Sityati Chinyana Majinyana Tatatatavayam Chinyana Majinya Tatatatavaya Yo Dadyat Satapathed Muratama Dadyat Satapathed Muratama Gurupaluldi Nana Tasya Devasatasyanu Guruhanote Devasatasyanu Guruhanote Idam Mayang Dapihitam Guru Devaha Truvasyam Vikyata Vishuddhatakalmanoha Hitvai Pakah Grida Nakani Ma Tulguru Hamcha Vishnum Sharanam Yochagama. Yeah, I got through Namaste. That wasn't too bad. Iti Srimad Bhagavate Mahapuranwe Paramahamsyam Samitanyam Chaturtasakanante Trubacharitam Nama Devadashotyayahu. Namaste. Oof. Yeah, it's unfortunate. If I were healthy, if I were like 100%, if I healed from my fatal injury, then I don't think anybody could bother me at all. But until then, it is what it is. Sanskrit is very, very sacred. So, if I do this outside in public, I have to be in like a coffee shop full of really, really intelligent people, or else. Okay. And once again, it'll be a back-to-back Sanskrit recitation session because I didn't do it yesterday, and it's not something I could let go. I have to do it. This is long. Wow. So I did 50 verses and 50 shlokas, 52 shlokas in 30 minutes. Not bad. Okay, Discourse 12. Maitreya continued. Having come to know that Dhruva's anger had been appeased, and that he had desisted from bloodshed, the worshipful Kubera arrived there, glorified by the Charanas, celestial bards, Yakushas, and Kinanaras, and spoke to Dhruva, who stood with joined palms. The god of riches said, O Kshatriya prince, I am highly pleased with you, since at the remonstrance of your grandfather, you have renounced the feeling of animosity so difficult to give up, O sinless one. It was not you who killed the Yakushas, nor did the Yakushas slay your brother. The time spirit alone is responsible for the birth and death of living beings. Like the dream consciousness, the false notion of I and you arises in man through ignorance, and as a result of his self-identification with the body, and it is due to this notion that he has to suffer bondage as well as miseries. Therefore, God bless you, Dhruva. Go and worship for the sake of freedom from birth the Lord, who is above sense perception and yet manifest in the form of all living beings, whose feet are the only object worth resorting to, who puts an end to birth, and who, though united with his own energy, known by the name of Āmēn, and consisting of the three gunas, is yet devoid of it, treating all living beings as your own self. Freely and unhesitatingly ask of me, O king, a boon which is foremost in your mind, O son of Uttanapada, you being fit to receive a boon. For we have heard, dear Dhruva, that you are so near the feet of the Lord. Maitreya went on. When the great-minded Dhruva, an eminent devotee of the Lord, was egged on by Kubera to ask for a boon, he sought to be blessed with constant remembrance of Sri Hari, with the help of which one is easily able to cross the ocean of worldly existence, which is so difficult to get over. With a glad heart, Kubera conferred on him the boon of constant remembrance of the Lord, and thereafter vanished before his very eyes. And Dhruva, too, returned to his own capital. Then he propitiated, through a number of sacrifices, attended with liberal fees, the Lord of sacrifices, who is the reward of ritual acts, performed with the help of material substances, sacrificial activity, and the deities worshipped in the course of a sacrifice, as well as the dispenser of their fruit, maintaining an ardent flow of devotion to the immortal Lord, who is the inner controller of all, and yet who excludes all. He so seated in himself, as well as in all beings, the same all-pervading Lord. The people looked upon him as their own father, him who was thus possessed of a lofty character, devoted to the Brahmana and tender to the afflicted, and who preserved the bounds of propriety. Exhausting his merit through luxuries, and neutralizing evil by practicing self-denial, he ruled over the terrestrial globe for 36,000 years. Having thus spent a long period as a means to the three objects of human pursuit, with his senses fully controlled, the high-souled Dhruva made over the throne to his son. Regarding this universe, which is no more real than a dream or a hallucination caused by ignorance, as superimposed on his own self by Maya, and realizing his own body, wives, progeny, and kinsfolk, as well as his army, rich treasury, gymnasium, delightful pleasure grounds, and the sea-girt terrestrial globe as overtaken by death. He left for Vishala. There, he purified his mind by taking a plunge in the sacred waters, and, after steadying himself in a squatting posture, controlled his breath. Then, having withdrawn his senses with the help of his mind, he fixed it on the gross form of the Lord, and meditating on it till the distinction of subject and object altogether disappeared from his mind, he was lost in samadhi, abstract meditation, and abandoned the thought even of that. Maintaining an unceasing flow of devotion towards Sri Hari, he was bathed in a stream of blissful tears. Again and again his heart melted. A thrill ran through all his limbs, and rid of self-identification with the body, he lost consciousness even of his own individuality. He lost consciousness even of his own individuality. While in that state, Dhruva beheld an excellent aerial car descending from the heavens. Like a rising full moon, it shed a bright luster all round as well as above and below. He further saw therein two foremost divinities, swarthy of hue, possessed of 4 arms and eyes, resembling a pair of red lotuses, clad in a beautiful attire, and adorned with crowns, pearl necklaces, armlets, and charming earrings. They were still in the prime of youth, and stood leaning against their maces. Concluding them to be attendants of Lord Vishnu, he sprang on his feet, and forgetting in the flurry the prescribed course, bowed to them with joined palms, uttering the names of the Lord, and thinking them to be his foremost attendants. Sunananda and Nananda, the 2 esteemed attendants of Lord Vishnu, approached Dhruva, whose mind was set on Gurushana's feet, and who stood with joined palms, his head bent low in humility, and smilingly spoke. Sunananda and Nananda said, "O King, God bless you. Listen attentively to our words. You, who succeeded in propitiating the Lord through penance while yet a child of 5. We too are attendants of the self-same Lord. We too are attendants of the self-same Lord, the wielder of the famous Shānganga bow, and the sustainer of the whole world, and have called here to take you to the Lord's abode. You have secured the realm of Vishnu, which is exceedingly difficult to attain to, and which even the seers are unable to reach and only look up to from below. Take up your abode there. Planets, lunar mansions, and other stars, including the sun and the moon, revolve round that realm, placing it on their right. Take up your residence in that supreme abode of Vishnu, which is worthy of adoration for all the worlds, and has never been attained to by your forebears or even others, dear Dhruva. Be pleased to mount, O long-lived one, this excellent aerial car, dispatched by the Lord, the foremost among those enjoying the highest renown." Maitreya resumed. On hearing the above words of the 2 chief servants of Lord Vishnu, words which dropped nectar, Dhruva, a beloved devotee of the Lord, performed his ablutions, finished his daily routine, and adorned his person, and, having bowed low to the sages, he drew forth their benediction. having worshipped and gone round that excellent aerial car, and made obeisance to the two divine attendants, and endowed with a form shining like gold, he felt inclined to mount it. In the meantime, Dhruva saw death arrived, and, having set his foot on the latter's head, stepped into the wonderful car. At the moment, kettle drums, as well as drums and tabrets, etc., sounded. The chief among the Ganantaivas, celestial songsters, loudly sang, and showers of flowers rained. As he was about to soar for the divine realm, Dhruva recalled his mother Suniti and said to himself, "Shall I have to proceed to the inaccessible heaven, leaving my poor mother behind?" Having read his mind, as depicted above, the two foremost divinities showed the shining lady going ahead in another aerial car. Greeted at every stage on the route with showers of flowers by God's shouting applause from their aerial cars, he saw the planets one after another. Passing beyond the three worlds, as well as beyond the seven seers by the route of the gods, Dhruva, who had attained the eternal state, eventually reached the abode of Lord Vishnu, lying still further. The realm of Lord Vishnu shines all around by its own splendor. Nay, even the three worlds merely reflect its light. They who are lacking compassion for living beings have never attained to it. They alone reach it who ceaselessly perform benevolent deeds. They who are calm and collected and look upon others with the same eye, nay, who are pure and complaisant to all living beings, and who look upon the devotees of the immortal Lord as their only kinsmen, easily ascend to that abode of the immortal Lord. In this way, Dhruva, son of Uddanapada, who solely depended on Sri Guru, shone as a gem to the purest ray serene, forming the crown of the three worlds. Fastened to this realm, the stellar sphere vigilantly revolves round it, O Vidura, even as the oxen revolve round the post in the middle of a threshing floor with great speed, remaining attached to that post. Witnessing his glory, the worshipful sage Narada chanted the following verses in the sacrificial session called by the Prachetas, playing upon his lute. Narada said, "Even Brahmana sages, though knowing the means, failed to attain the consummation reached as a result of his austere penance by the son of Suniti, who was so devoted to her husband. How, then, can rulers of men attain to that state?" A child of 5 years, he retired to the woods with an aching heart, pierced by the shaft-like words of his stepmother, and, doing my bidding, won the Lord, who, though unconquered, is overcome by the virtues of his devotees. Can anyone who is born of Kshatriya parents on this earth aspire to attain, on his analogy, even in many successive years, the exalted state won by Dhruva, a state which he attained to, even as a child of 5 to 6 years, in the course of a few days, by propitiating Lord Vishnu? Maitreya took up the thread again. I have thus told you all that you asked me on this spot about the life story of Dhruva of exalted renown, a story valued so much by noble souls. It is conducive to wealth, fame, and longevity, is sacred and full of great blessings. Nay, it bestows heavenly bliss and even the eternal state. It is highly commendable and fit to be heard by God and wipes out one's sins. By devoutly listening again and again to the story of a favorite devotee of the immortal Lord, devotion to the Lord is sure to be engendered. Devotion which cuts at the root of affliction. Virtues like amiability and so on appear in the man who listens. Nay, it is a fountain of greatness for those who seek it, a mine of spiritual glow for those aspiring for it, and a source of honor to the high-minded. With a concentrated mind, one should recite this glorious story of King Dhruva of sacred renown morning and evening before a congregation of the Brahmanas, devoted to the sacred feet of Lord Hari. He who recites it before an audience of pious souls on a full moon day, the last day of a dark fortnight, the 12th day of either fortnight, the day on which the moon passes through the asterism known by the name of Shravana, a lunar day which commences after sunrise on a particular day and ends before the next sunrise. Avyati Bangatan. It's an astronomical thing. Asamkrananti, another astronomical. Or any Sunday, seeking no return for his service, and remaining satisfied with himself by himself, thereby attains perfection. The gods shower their grace on that tender-hearted benefactor of the afflicted, who imparts to one who has no knowledge of truth this wisdom, which is like nectar on the path leading to God realization. I have narrated to you, O foremost scion of Guru, this narrative of King Dhruva, whose pious doings are widely known, and who, when he was a mere child, left his playthings as well as the roof of his mother, and resorted for protection to Vishnu. Thus ends the 12th discourse entitled The Narrative of Dhruva in Book 4 of the Great and Glorious Bhagavata Purana, otherwise known as the Paramamsa Samhita. Kalki Purana's next. Something tells me I should read the Garuda Purana. That's the eulogy for the departed, or someone passed away above me, 3 weeks ago or so. I might do that. It takes about 9 hours to read the whole thing. So that'll be my project, I think. So after Kalki Purana, I'm gonna read the entire Garuda Purana because there's a lot of when someone passes away, there's the energies are, you don't even want to talk about it. It's intense times 1,000. It's incredibly intense. So Garuda Purana is designed to eulogize the dead in Sanskrit. It's very different than eulogizing them in any other languages. In Sanskrit, it sends them to heaven if they're good souls. Because especially nowadays with the technology, a lot of souls get stuck in different places. You have haunted houses where doors close and open by themselves sometimes, in a few instances. And that's because the soul is stuck there. Either, the person died a horrible death, or he committed suicide, or, thought he was going somewhere, but still the soul is there. So Garuda Purana, it's like the Drano of the yeah, it drains the stuck souls. It sends them to either heaven or hell, whatever, whichever place they were supposed to go. So I'm gonna do that next, because the energy here, I mean, if you've seen my videos lately, after the person passed away about 3.5 weeks ago or so. So if you watch my videos, you might see me getting angry every time, because people are interrupting me, and the energy is just really, really intense times 1,000 because of the departed energy. So I better do Garuda Purana next, and that'll clear out the energy. And I better do a good job at it. I might need to stock up on my medicine. It'll be a 9-hour reading of Garuda Purana today. I have to get it over with, because I can't, I have to do that because I can't move on. Every time I'm doing this, I'm being interrupted left and right. It's because of the energies. There's departed energies here because someone passed away right above me 3.5 weeks ago. And I didn't get to even find out about it, until like a week ago. I only found out, last week. Anyway. Okay, so gotta keep Purana next. Let me take a little break. I'm gonna get more medicine. I am gonna do Garuda Purana. I can't stand this energy. Departed energy is the worst. It's like, you want to talk about despondency? You want to believe that there's no God? Yeah, departed energy. Holy crap, man. All right. Okay, so Kalki Purana. After this is Garuda Purana. I'm gonna get prepared. I'm doing all these like adventures lately. What was it? Just yesterday I did magic. I can't do that again for another month. And next time I do, it'll be 3 times more intense. It's a scam. 12 grams of shrooms. And I'll be like, just like this, and I'll be like, yeah, it's a scam. Okay, here we go. I hope it's short. No, it's not short. I took Sanskrit reading today. Garuda Purana today. It'll be like an all night long reading. It's worth it. Namaste. Suta Uvacham. Tato Bhavdatana Mlacha Chaganona Vijitya Saha Saunikaiha Tananyadaya Ratnani Ki Katot Punaravrajat Kalkiha Paramatejasavi Talmanam Parirakushota Parirakushokaha Chakratil Tam Samagatyam Snanam Pitivadacharat Pratara Pilokapala Pai Bahupiha Pratara Pilokapala Pai Bahupiha Sivajanai Bharataha Samayatan Munim Siddhatara Dadarasha Dinamanasan Samudha Piyagatam Siddhatara Paripahi Jagatapatam Itiucha Charananto Bahutanga Ye Dana Hariha Paraha Balakilya Naripakayam Shachira Jatta Tarana Balakilya Naripakayam Shachira Jatta Tarana Balakilya Naripakayam Shachira. Sorry. 발라킬야디까나 발라킬야디까나를 바까얌 샤치 발라킬야디까나를 바까얌 샤치 다자토 타라는 비나야는 비타흐 가르키스타나하 파야비흐바얀 비흐발라는 파야비흐발라는 가스마드 유얌 사마야타흐 깨나바 피슈이탄 바탐 타마함 니하니슈여미 야디반 시야트 보라는다라흐 이티양 슈루티양 가르키바키얌 테노롤라 시타마나사흐 자가두흐 부눈더리가 쿠샴 니꾸문 파두히투흐 가타흐 문화야 우주흐 쉐르누 베슈누 야샤흐 부트란 꾸문 파칼너 뜨마자 구토다리티 비키야땅 가가날드 타사무드 티땅 까라간자시야 마히슈이 비간자자나니 짜산 히말라야 시라흐 그르트방 바다오짱 비셔타 짜렙 샤트 스타남 바야야는띠 비간잠 파라스누타스타니 다시용 니시방 사바 테나 비바샹 바야마 가땅흐 다이베나이바 사마니땅흐 삼프라프타스트 바트바다스 바다무 삼프라프타스트 바트바다프 삼프라프타스트 바트바다스 바다무 삼프라프타스트 바트바다스 바다무 문화요 라쿠샤누이야스테 라쿠샤흐수짱 비파트수짱 이티 테슈엄 바짜흐 슈르트방알 가르키흐 파라푸란자야흐 세나가노이흐 파리보르토 야강아마 이마바드기리무 우파티아강 사마사디야 니샤메강 니나야 사흐 파라틸지가미슈흐 사이니알 다드르셰 구슈이라님은 나감 샹은캐는 두타발라가람 샹은캐는 두타발라가람 페닐람 부르하팀 두루땀 잘하는 팀 비구슈유 때 살베 스땀은 피땅 비스마야는 비땅 세나가너가 시바디라타 요타이흐 세나가너가 시바디라타 요타이흐 세나가너가 시바디라타 요타이흐 사마버르타흐 가르키스투 파가밤 세타트라 지냐탈 토피 무니시바라는 바프라츠 창간 나디 제얌 까탐 두구타바하 파바트 te karikesutu pachaha shrutuvan munayaha prahuradarat Sharano karike payasapatiyaha prabhavam himavadagirao samayatan kutodariyaha Satanaprasanavana Kartuika sabatakeha janayan payo yasyati vegitam hinasaran tatokaran bhavishyati mahamate iti shrutavan muninam tu vachanam sainikaiha saham aho kimasyan rakushasyan sutanadekan tuviyam nadi ekam sutanam payayati vikanjam putramadarat na janasyan sharirasya pramanam kati bhavet Palam Basyan Nishanchariyan Ityu Chulbismi Samayan Ityu Chulbi Samayan Vitah Kalkiha Paratma Sananahiyan Senapiha Sahasan Yayao Muni Dashita Malgena Yatra Sate San Nishanchari Botram Satanam Payayananti Girimultani Kanopama Shiva Sabata Divatena Shiva Sabata Di. This is really not even half far. Yeah, I'm gonna get more medicine. And then I'll have to do 9.5 hours of Garuda Purana reading. Okay, here we go. Shiva Sabata Tibatena Turakushwepatapana Dubipah Turakushwetam Turakushwepatapana Dubipah Turakushwepatapana Dubipah Yasyah Kalnui Kalnabilabasam Prasupatah Simhasangan Kolah Putra Pautra Parivaratan Girigahu Bala Vipramah Keshamula Mupa Lamambaya Harinoh Sherate Chirama Yukan Iba Na Jam Viagran Lubutaja Tangangaya Purushama Tamalokiya Giremultani Girivata Paramad Puttama Kalkiha Kamala Patra Kushaha Salbam Satanaha Sainikan Payodabigan Payodabiganan Buddhatihinan Ityakutodia Parichachadan Kalkiruvancham Giridulge Bahani Dulgam Kuratavan Vishatanantu Mamakah Gajashachara 가자시짜라타요탄 예 사마야는 뚜 마야 사하 아함 스바르페나 사이니에나 마미아시야흐 야미아시야흐 사무무캄 드루따무 브라할툼 바너사는 도하이흐 강은가 샤그티 파라시랍 시바타이흐 사이니에 강은가 샤그티 파라시바타이흐 이티우크트방 스타피아 파시짜트탄 바노이스탐 사마하나드 리 산 그루토트타야 사하산 따딸담 파라마드 푸땀 데나 나데나 마하탄 비트라스타 시짜 파바느 자나흐 니페투흐 사이니카흐 살베 몰주치땅 타리누이 딸렘 상 라탐 시장 자감 시장 비브르땅 시앙 파야나강 자카사 브라시바 사바 타이흐 사마니야 구토다리 세나가너 스타두다람 브라비슈트워허 까르기나 사하 야탈크쇼무카바 테나 브라비샤는티 비피리강흐 따드 드르셔트바 데바가는 탈바 하하까람 브라짜크리레 따트라스탕 문화야흐 샤뿔자부시짱니에 샤뿔자부시짱니에 마할쇼야흐 니페투라니에 두허카일땅 브라흐마바디나흐 루루두흐 시슈토요탕 예 자흐르쇼시다는 니샹짜랑흐 자가땅 가다남 드르셔트방 사스마라트마나마트마남 까르키허 까말라파트라 쿠셔허 수라라티니 부다나 수라라티니 슈다나흐 바너그님 젤라짤마피암 갈마나이리아나 노다루피흐 브라즈바 로다라마티에나 까라발람 사마다드 데나 카드게나 마하땅 다쿠쇼염 늘피리앙 마눈투피흐 말리필프라뜨르 필바하일 부르타이흐 말리필프라뜨르 필바하일 부르타흐 샤스트라 파누이피흐 바힐바 푸바 살베샤흐 까르키흐 까르카비나 샤나흐 사스라 쿠쇼 여탕 부르트라 쿠쿠쇼임 담은폴리네 미나 요니라는 트라드 가자라타 수뚜라 가시자 파바는 가자라 요니라는 트라드 가자라타 수뚜라 가시자 파바드 가자라타 수뚜라 가시자 파바는 바히흐 나시카 깔너비바라트 나시카 깔너비바라트 캐피타시아흐 비닐가타흐 te nilgatang sutata sutasyang he sainikang rutiroku suitang he tam biava tulniku sui panen tim tam bibia tulniku sui panen tim tam bibia tulniku sui panen tim 따라서 자라노 까라오 마마라 상 비는 나대하 비는 나꾸고 시로 타라 비는 나꾸고 시로 타라 나다야는 디쇼 디오허 캄 줄너야는 디자 빨바탄 비간조비 따탄 비구슈염 마따람 까따로 파바트 사 비간자흐 꾸루탄 타바는 세나마티에 니라유타흐 자가마라 꿀로 바쿠쇼바지라 지비 푸쇼너흐 바쿠쇼바지라 지비 푸쇼너흐 마하살빵 그릇도 슈누이셔 마하살빵 그릇도 슈누이셔 깨살이 무드리 땅은 고리허 마말다 가르키 세남 땅 마툴 비아사나 깔 수 있다허 마툴 비아사나 깔 수 있다허 사 가르키 스땀 브라흐마 마스트람 라마다드땀 지캄 사양 타누슈 반짜발슈이얌 라그샤삼 샤스트라마다드 테나스트레노 시라스타시양 치트트반 푸마바파타야트 루티랑아크담 타투치트람 기리시릉가 미바드 푸땀 사푸트람 라그샤심 하트반 무니남 바짜나드 비푸허 강은가디레 하리드바레 니바삼 사마카르파야트 대바남 구수마사라에 무니스타 또트라이흐 구수마사라에 무니스 또트라이흐 대바남 구수마사라에 무니스 또트라이흐 수푸지타흐 니나야 땅 니샹 따트라 까르키흐 파리자나는 비타흐 프라탈다달샴 강은가야스티레 무니가노는 바후는 따시양흐 스나나비아자 제슈노라트마노 달샤나 꿀마는 하리드바레 강은가따뜨 니까떤 비는도 라까바네 와 하리드바레 강은가따떤 니까떤 비는도 라까바네 강은가따떤 니까떤 비는도 라까바네 하리드바레 강은가따떤 니까떤 비는도 라까바네 강은가따떤 니까떤 비는도 라까바네 바사는 땀 시리마는 땀 니자가노 버릇땀 무니가노허 스타바이허 수투트방 비티바도디 달자흐 누타나얌 비티바도디 달자흐 누타야나타나얌 비티바도디 달자흐 누 자흐루 or 자흐누 자호누 자호누 비티바도디 달자흐 누타나얌 비티바도디 달자흐 누타나얌 비티바도디 달자흐 비티바도디 달자흐 누타야남 타나얌 Pitivadudita Jahunutayan Tanayam Sutavaiha Sututavang Pitivadudita Jahunutayan Tanayam Pitivadudita Jahunutanayam Parapashyanantam Kalkim Munijagat Munijanagano Drashirtumagamana Namaste. Iti Shri Kalki Puranwano Bhagavate Pavishuya Turtiyam She Kutodari Bata Nanantaram Munidarshanam Nama Tuviti Yotyayahu. Namaste. Another long chapter after this 17 chapters of Garuda Purana. It's gonna be 9 hours. More medicine, yeah. Okay, here we go. Sutasad. Thus, conquering the Buddhists and the barbarians, Kalki, along with their wealth and gems, returned to his own city from Kikata with his army. Extremely radiant, the savior of religion in every way, Kalki, on arriving at Chakratilta, took a bath with all rituals. Surrounded by his brothers, like Lokapalas and many others, Kalki saw the heavily-hearted ascetics who came there. O Lord of the universe, protect us. On hearing this repeatedly, Vishnu addressed those who had come with fear in their hearts. Kalki, with a bowed head, very politely addressed those diminutive, clothed in bark, with hair matted, and looking helpless with fear, Balakilya, etc. From where have you come, and why? Who is the cause of your fear? I will kill him, even if he is an Indra. On hearing such words from Kalki, the heartened Munis told the lotus-eyed Kalki the tales of the daughter of Nikumampa. The sages said, O the son of Vishnu Yasha, hear Kutodari, the daughter of Nikumampa. The son of Nikumpakalno is as tall as half the sky. Kutodari, the wife of Kalakanja and mother of Vikanja, while feeding Vikanja, sleeps with her head on the Himalayas and feet on Nishuta mountain. Being tormented by her breath, we have come here. Fate only has brought us here in your shelter. You should protect the sages from demons and hardships. Hearing these words, Kalki, the conqueror of enemy cities, went to the Himalayas along with his army. Kalki spent the night in the valley of the mountain. Waiting for the dawn, he, along with his army, saw a river of milk. They were stupefied with astonishment at the sight of the fast-flowing river, white like the conch shell, and the moon, and full of foam. In spite of knowing all, Kalki, surrounded by the army, elephants, horses, chariots, and warriors, asked those great sages, "What is this river, and how does the milk flow in it?" On hearing these words of Kalki, the sages said with reverence, "O Kalki, please listen. This river of milk has originated on the Himalayas and consists of milk flowing from the breast of Gotodari. After 7 Kartvikas, another river will start flowing, while this one, O wise one, will dry up like the desert." On hearing these words of the sages, all, including the soldiers, exclaimed, "Oh, strange! Can one breast of a demon lady contain so much milk as to be able to form so large a river?" Full of affection, Gotodari beats her son Bikanja from one breast only. Who knows what will be the dimensions of her body and how much will be her valor? Kalki and all his soldiers so spoke in astonishment. Thereafter, Kalki, armed with all weapons and missiles, accompanied by his soldiers, quickly went up to the demon lady. Guided by the sages, they reached the spot where the demon lady, like clouds on top of the mountains, was present feeding her son. Because of the force of whose breath, while elephants were being thrown far, and in the cavity of whose ears a pride of lions was sleeping. Mistaking the roots of her hair to be the caves in the mountains, the deer, along with their sons and grandsons, having taken shelter, were taking endless respite. Without fear of a difficult life, those deer, like lice, had taken shelter in the hair of the demon lady, mistaking them to be the mountain caves. Established on the peak of the other mountain, Kalki, seeing that astonishing demon lady, addressed his confused soldiers, who out of fear were anxious to lay down their weapons. Kalki said, "Elephant riders, horse cavalry, and chariot riding warriors follow me, while the infantry stay here in the valley, only forming a fire protection. I, accompanied by a small force, will stealthily confront the demon lady and will attack with arrows, swords, spears, and axes." So saying, the most valorous Kalki, having left his army behind, started attacking the demoness with arrows, and she, in turn, suddenly got up and roared in anger in the most astonishing manner. Due to fear from that astonishing roar, all the people got extremely scared, and the soldiers fell unconscious. That ferocious Gotodari, with mouth open and with the force of her breath, pulled chariots and elephants alike together and started devouring them. Kalki, with a group of soldiers, entered their stomach in the same way as insects enter the mouth of a bear. Seeing this, gods and demigods started lamenting loudly. Some of the sages present there started cursing, while other great sages started incantations for the protection of Kalki and soldiers. Brahmanas, occupied in studying and teaching Vedas, fell down because of sorrow. The warriors that remained started crying, and those who cheered were night creatures. Seeing the sorrow of the universe, the one with lotus leaf eyes, and destroyer of the enemies of gods, that is, Recitations, Kalki from bottom of his heart concentrated on the self. Enveloped in darkness inside the stomach of the demoness, Kalki ignited fire with his arrows and fed clothes, leather, and wood to set it ablaze, and thereafter picked up his sword. Having successfully torn the stomach of the demoness, the strong, master of all and destroyer of Kali, Kalki, with all his weapons, together with his brothers, relatives, and carriers, came out just the way thousand-eyed Inindra had previously burst the stomach of Vrudra with his thunderbolt and came out. Elephants, chariots, and horses came out of the vaginal passage of the demon lady, while some came from her ears and nasal holes. Soaked in blood, the soldiers who had just emerged quickly pierced the threshing demoness with their arrows. The demoness, with the broken parts of the body, stomach, and the neck, resounding the directions and the sky with her roars, and disintegrating, the mountains died. Seeing his mother thus, Vikanja also became sad. Thereafter, he in anger barged into the army of Kalki without any weapon. His chest was adorned with the necklace like rows of elephants, the body with the ornaments like rows of horses, the head with the large turban like python, and the fingers of his hand with rings like lions. Devastated with sorrow at the death of his mother, Vikanja trampled the army of Kalki. With the aim of killing the 5-year-old demon, Kalki mounted the Brahma Shastra, gifted by his teacher, Parashurama, onto his bow, and with this missile, cut his head to roll on the ground. On killing the demoness, along with her son Vikanja, who soaked in blood, was looking like a mountain cliff, shining with minerals and metals, Kalki was showered with the rain of flowers by the gods and eulogized by the sages. Thereafter, on being entreated by the sages, he camped on the banks of the Ganges in Haridwara. Having spent the night there with his soldiers, he at dawn saw a lot of sages, anxious to have a look at him, the incarnate of Vishnu, with an excuse of taking a bath. The sages chanting ritualistically the praises for Kalki, who had camped in the Birundora Kavana, near the banks of the Ganges in Haridwara, and who was looking splendid, was escorted by his army, and was intently looking at the Ganges. The daughter of sage Jahanu came to have a glimpse of him. Thus ends the second chapter of part 3 of Sri Kalki Purana, relating to the future happenings of the Lord, entitled Gotodari Vatanantaram. Muni Darshanam. killing of Gotodari and Muni Darshana, visiting of the hermitage. Okay. Yeah, I have to do Garuda Purana. That's the Sanskrit eulogy for the dead, and it sends any stuck souls to the netherworld so they could get into the cycle again. So I have to do that. It's very long, very extensive. I'm gonna try to get through it a little quickly. Yeah, I have to do that, and I think that's the only thing I have to do as far as my had to do. Whatever I have to do goes. Okay, so Garuda Purana next, and I'm not ready for it, but I have to do it. Namaste, have a good day. I have to do it because I have to make sure the dead are in the dead place, and living are living, and there's nobody stuck in between haunting places and making people mad and angry and make them fight and etc. etc. Have a good day. Thank you. Namaste.